そう、こんにちは。皆さん元気ですか？今日は天気はどうですか？ How's the weather there? ここはまだ暖かいです。Here, still warm. So today is a speaking class, day 1. So today is the first exercise for your speaking skill. So speaking time, most of students, like 99% student will be nervous so much. I want to speak, but I don't want to mistake. My speaking is very bad. I'm not good at speaking. Very nervous, very stressful. But speaking exercise, try to think. You can check your pronunciation. You can check how many vocabulary actually remember and how many vocabulary actually I can use correctly, or actually how many sentences I can make correctly. Just, like 1 second. 元気ですか？昨日何をしていましたか？ How are you? Where have you been? How have you been? For example, like this question, you need to hear the question and you need to answer quickly, which is you need speed. So your brain will be like, your brain is working fully. Do you know, because I have a daughter, it said, if you want your child to be a smart, teach language, a lot of language, and do the music. This is really good for your brain in general to speak different language, not your mother language. Your mother language, you get too used to it, so you don't use your brain. But if you try to speak different language, English speaker to Italian, Italian to Japanese, Japanese to Chinese, when you speak very different language, your brain will be full work. So, of course, generally very good for your brain, and also good to exercise to communicate with the people. What do you speak? What the contents? What kind of conversation? Face like this. Hello. How are you? Or like, hello. こんにちは。元気ですか? So, communication skill, of course, good for your brain. And actually, when you go to Japan, you can communicate. So this speaking class, I know you will be very nervous, very stressful, but without speaking exercise, is it actually real language skill if you cannot communicate with the people? I think it's not, because the communication can be used forever. Even the technology grow, you need to communicate with the people. You cannot be 100% happy when Japanese robots talk to you. You want to communicate with the Japanese real people. So which means communication skill, even the voice recognition, grow a lot. And we don't need to even type. We don't need to write down in the future. All the things a robot will do, maybe. But communication between the human and human, I think it will continue. At least next 100 years for sure. So, even if you want to work in the restaurant, even if you want to work in the computer company, anime entertainment company, communication skill can be used forever. So this communication skill is this speaking skill. So, in this Japan language factory, our lesson, we have almost every day speaking exercise. Almost every day. But I saw many students really nervous. So, try to think. You are maybe English speaker, or maybe you are Italian speaker, mother language. And I will speak to you like, let's say I am learning Italian, I am learning English, Greek, and I speak to the native person, Do you actually expect me to speak Italian or Greek or English perfectly? Do you actually expect? And if I cannot speak perfect Greek or Italian, any language, do you get mad? No, I don't think. You will not angry if I cannot speak perfectly. So that's the things happen to you. No Japanese will get angry because you cannot speak Japanese. The problem is, I lost the direction. Or for example, I want to introduce my grandmother. My grandmother cannot speak any language, only Japanese. And you cannot communicate. It's sad. It's just very sad if you cannot communicate. Not like speak perfectly. You don't need to focus the perfection. No one expects foreigner speaks perfect like other language. It's just we need to communicate. My grandmother. This is my grandmother. おばあちゃんです。これ私の友達です。This is my friend. Some communication. Maybe we will have the lunch and something, maybe we go out together. This time, actually how much you can communicate with her. My grandmother, for example. This is what we need. Communication. Where I am from, what I like Japan is this. Just some conversation. This is 0 or 1 is a huge differences. I need to translate everything because you cannot speak Japanese at all. Why you came here is this. I will be translated. But you and my grandmother, between these two, there's no any communication. Is very sad. And I think you feel very sad because you learn Japanese, but this communication time you can't. So, speaking time. What you need to focus is how you can express yourself. Why I'm learning Japanese. I am that person. Where I am from. I am from Greece or Italy or anywhere. And what kind of place. If you like, you can come here. We have this food. Culture exchange. Personal exchange. This is communication. Yes. This can be used forever. And if you know Japanese or other language, if you have 5 languages, you can, of course, you can work everywhere. Of course, you can work in Japan. A lot of opportunity. And you can be a just nice person. Nice person than 0 communication. So that's why we have a lot of speaking exercises. Then, in order to speak, today, first, we will speak Japanese only. But how? I don't know many grammar. I don't know many vocabulary. But I will speak to you only Japanese. This is a speaking class. Only Japanese. But how? So, in order to speak only Japanese, we have 5 typical questions in our speaking class. So, in order to start our speaking class, we need to memorize these 5 phrases. So, from today, let's exercise. Okay? Question 1. Something は日本語で何と言いますか? Something は日本語で何と言いますか? So this sentence, what does it mean? Something is in Japanese, 日本語で in Japanese, 日本語日本 Japan 語 language で is in Japanese language 何と言いますか? How can I say? So this phrase, when do you use? Is you wanted to speak something, but how do I say pen in Japanese? How do I say mobile in Japanese. But I want to say, I will give you this mobile. I can lend you, for example. Then, mobile は日本語で何と言いますか？ This phrase is actual real communication you can use. Then, just a moment. We have here Google Translate. What do you want to know? Okay, mobile. Can you type? Mobile. Actually, I do with Greeks because sometimes I really don't know. Can you type the vocabulary? Okay, that's Japanese. I can understand. So this time is you will pick up the vocabulary and how can I say this vocabulary in Japanese. This is reality. You can use this communication. You will use the you will pick up the vocabulary that you want to know in Japanese and you will ask. And this Japanese person, and will use the Google Translate and you can communicate with Google Translate between us. Okay? Better than nothing. Nothing is I don't understand Japanese. Bye-bye. That's sad. I have a degree, but I didn't have any friends. I cannot communicate. Bye-bye. I don't understand Japanese is the saddest communication, right? I don't understand. But you will say, mobile, how can I say in Japanese? 携帯。携帯貸しますよ。I will lend you my mobile. Of course, then if you don't know 貸しますよ, how can I say lend? Let's check. Better than I don't understand. Give up. So that's first communication skill. I really want to talk, but I don't know vocabulary, so let's communicate. This is also communication. So, something は日本語で何と言いますか? So, how can I say this vocabulary in Japanese? So, opposite side also. Something は英語で in English 何と言いますか? I was saying, 紙ちょうだい紙ちょうだいWhat's he saying to me? 紙ちょうだいよ紙ちょうだい I don't understand what is that? 紙は英語で何と言いますか? How can I say 紙 in English? 紙ちょっと待って Just a moment 紙paper Yeah, okay, I will give you the paper どうぞ Here you are So I was saying 紙ちょうだい Can I have one paper? I want to write down memo Can I have one paper? 紙ちょうだいI don't understand what is 紙You will use 紙は英語で何と言いますか? How can I say 紙 in English? Just a moment paper Easy generation we have that super fast translation I am 1986 I was born in 1986 We didn't have a Google Translate we need to have dictionary and blah, blah, blah. It was very difficult to communicate really but now we have this 2020 we have this super fast translation so you can just arrange with this sentence to communicate much faster so something was you didn't understand 紙 so 紙は英語で何と言いますか? Paper okay even it has a voice paper then okay どうぞ here you are どうぞ so definitely this 1 and 2 please memorize before you start attending our speaking class okay or before you going to Japan because this way you can communicate only in Japanese Okay, here. Third sentence. もう一回言ってください. Don't give up. You will not say, I don't understand Japanese. What the fuck is this language? I don't understand. No, you don't need to say like this. もう一回, please say it once again. So I will pick up the vocabulary and I will ask you with this sentence. So, please say it once again.土曜日何してんの 土曜日何してんの？ So many time I don't understand. もう少しゆっくり言ってください。or もう一回 once again 言ってください。Please say it. もう少し little bit more ゆっくり slowly 言ってください。Please say it. Slowly. 土曜日何してたの？土曜日何してたの？ What did you do on Saturday? 土曜日何してたの？ Like my native speed is like this. I will not speak like this, but if you go to Japan, maybe they will speak like a native speed. 土曜日何してたの？ What did you do on Saturday? Then, so fast. I don't hear anything. I cannot hear anything. もう少しゆっくり言ってください。Can you speak a little bit slowly? Okay. Sorry. ごめん。土曜日。何してたの？ What did you do on Saturday? Yeah. So, or maybe もう一回。Once again, please say it. I try to hear, but 土曜日。Saturday. Okay. Then, this is very useful at our class. Maybe you don't use when you go to Japan. But this is ちょっと待ってください。Please wait a little bit. メモを取ります。Means because we have speaking class, for example, 30 minutes, only Japanese. But during this 30 minutes, you will definitely need to write some memo to realize this vocabulary I didn't understand. I wanted to speak, my hobby is music, but I couldn't say. You will write down some memo. Otherwise, after speaking time, you don't remember anything, what I wanted to speak or what I couldn't hear. So, in order to learn many vocabulary, many sentences after the speaking time, so during the speaking time, you will say, ちょっと待ってください. Please wait a little bit. メモを取ります. I will take note. So, I wanted to say, my hobby is music. Okay, got it. And after speaking time, Hey, Terumi sensei. Hey, teacher Terumi. How can I say my hobby is music? 私の趣味は音楽です。Okay. So the next speaking class, of course you will speak better than today. Step by step, but this speaking skill, if you can speak, one day, if you can speak Japanese fluently, no one can copy your skill. Super skill. This is definitely super skill. You cannot imagine how many people surprised when I said I can speak Greek in Japan. You cannot imagine how many people became like, you will become like this. I mean, super skill. But these things, if you say, I have a Greek certificate, but actually I cannot speak. It's very difficult. Then people will not be like this, little bit like this. Oh yeah, difficult speaking. It sounds difficult. Yeah, like this. But if you say, I can speak, and then in front of you, speak, people become definitely 100%. Of course, you don't need to make them very surprised, but such a super skill, you can use this skill in the world. Definitely. If you couldn't find good job, definitely you can find much easier than before. I will not say your life is forever good, because you don't know the future, what's going on, but better than yesterday, better than last year. 100% for sure, better than last year, better than 10 years ago, if you can speak Japanese or not. Such a huge differences. Yes. So speaking, before you start speaking class, try to memorize this phrase and join speaking class with me every day. 頑張りましょう